everyone, welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. Today's show is pretty exciting. This is a basic that you have to make if you're cooking for a family. We call it chicken Parmesan, and it's show number 296. It's made up of basic ingredients. Our ingredients consist of tomato sauce, Italian seasoning, and this Italian seasoning is the same one from my carrabba's recipe where you dip your oil in. You can check the list and see that. Then breadcrumbs, and I brought these out to show my son because I told him there's two kinds of breadcrumbs. There's the panko and then there's the Italian. For this recipe, don't use the Italian because they're too thick. You want to use the panko brand. Then we have just a little bit of your basic flour, some eggs. I picked about 4 eggs, and then we'll go ahead and sprinkle these breadcrumbs in here. I don't think you really need to measure this. If you need some more of anything, just put it in. You would want to salt and pepper your eggs at this point. So we're going to do that. Now all these ingredients you can find at my website, or if you hit the subscribe button, you'll see them right below the video. If you hit subscribe and more, you'll see the recipe. If you're on a cell phone, stand up your cell phone, and then you'll see the subscribe and the more button there with the recipe. But if you want, you can go to my website, which is jamestdds.blogspot.com. I also have the chicken breasts. Now these chicken breasts are Tyson brand. I've been buying these lately. I like them because they come 5 in a bag, individually wrapped, and if you throw them in the freezer separate like this, you can pull out 1 or 2. They're not all frozen stuck together. And these happen to be pre-seasoned. It looks like some oregano is on them from what I saw in the bag. Now we're also going to use cheese with this, and it's going to consist of mozzarella cheese and a Parmesan. And I'm going to grate my own Parmesan so it'll be fresh. The mozzarella you have to cut up. You can't grate that. And then we're going to have fresh pineapple, and we're also going to have vegetable sprouts. So almost looks like a pasta, but it's a zucchini. And you just throw it in the microwave. If you have a 1000-watt microwave, you can get by with about 6 or 7 minutes, it says on the package. If you have a 700 microwave like I do, you're going to need probably about 12 minutes. I am using a canola oil and a frying pan. I have my lid, which is the window screen lid, that I'm going to put over this. So while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and get 1/8 to a 1/16 in there. I also have a glass casserole dish that we're going to put this in and throw it in the oven later. But the first thing we have to do is we have to cook up the chicken and get them going. And of course you can bake them, you can fry them, you can use a new wave oven. There's lots of ways that you can cook the chicken. I'm just going to go with the frying method. One other thing is, in what I'm doing today, is I am going to go ahead and use 2 chicken breasts. If you have big chicken breasts, go ahead and cut them and butterfly them so that you can do it that way. But because these are thin, I'm going to use 2 per person. That way you'll get 2 chicken breasts each. While the pan is warming up, let's go ahead and beat these eggs. Just kind of mix them up a little bit. I put 4 in here. If you need more, you can add more. I have my chicken breast here all ready to dip. So the first thing you want to do is put it in the flour. Just like that. Then you want to dip it in the egg. Then dip it in the breadcrumbs. Then I'm going to dip it back in the eggs. And get it in the pan. As you can see, they're looking pretty good in there. Let's go ahead and get the last one we have. Egg. Breadcrumbs. It smells good already, just the ones over there that are cooking. Back into the egg. I think if you skip this last step of dipping in the eggs, it tends to taste a little bit doughy or a little bit floury. So I've added that step where I don't think other cooks are. So let's take a cleanup break and we'll be right back. The chicken breasts are getting quiet. That's how you know when they're done. You don't want to completely cook them anyway. So let's take our bowl, get some spaghetti sauce in the bottom, maybe about that much, and then you can use a spoon to go ahead and level it out. You want some so that it doesn't burn. You want to have some liquid on the bottom always. I have the burner turned off, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of our screen off here. And very carefully, with this heavy frying pan, but it is certainly a nice one. I love Ninja. I don't get paid to tell you that, but man, I use these all the time, and I just love them. There we go. Now, that's your bottom two. Put them in there like that. Then, let's go ahead, put a little bit of sauce on top so that it looks like that. Then, let's put some Parmesan cheese. Like that. That looks real good. Then we can go ahead and cut up our mozzarella. Now, our mozzarella cheese, I'm going to cut across wide like that, and I'm just going to put it right on top of the chicken breast. And you'll notice I'm cutting these a little thick because I want to have a little bit of thick cheese. I want to have a little cheese, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Then I can go ahead and put the next one on top. Just like that. Set this aside. More cheese. on top. These I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to cut them up into blocks. I think they'll melt better if I do it like this. These in here, just like that. Then I'm going to throw the lid on it and put them in the oven. Let's go ahead and start on our pineapple. Cut the top off, just like that. Save it for garnish if you want, or pitch it. Take your cutter and your finger, mark where you want it. The top of the pineapple is about to the top of this black little knob. So I'm going to try to end below that black knob. If you go too far, it just comes out the bottom. When I got this, I was amazed at how easy it is to cut this. And of course, it's easier when it's ripe than when it's not. When it's not ripe, it's harder, and you might have to put a towel around this to hold it. Just like that. Then, you can turn it sideways. Give it a wiggle. Just like that, and pull it out of there. And it leaves the core for you, right in the center. And you can use that core and make this fancy drink if you want. Stove just beeped, so I hit my start on my timer. And if you have any pieces where it was too close to the outside and it still has the tines on it from the pineapple, you may not want to use that. One cut down, just like that. Folds right out for you. There's a little piece here. See where it got too close to the side. I'm not going to save it. I have so much pineapple I don't really need to. And lots of times the bottom isn't all that great. You might have a brown spot on the bottom, so you can pitch that as well. But there you go. We are down to about 11 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the microwave. With my microwave, I just do 6 minutes twice. Wowee, that is hot. But, get a look at that. That looks sharp. Looks delicious. Let's go ahead and do a sprinkle of the Italian seasoning on top. Just like that. And we can go ahead and get the stuff out of the microwave. Veggie sprigs, zucchini. Now these, what I want to do here right away is I want to pop this bag out of here real fast. And just going to throw some butter in here. I won't put this in the microwave earlier. I don't want to burn the butter. It'll melt good enough with this hot zucchini on top of it. Let's pop this real fast. Get that to vent. Really have to watch yourself because that is going to be hot. And I do have the vinyl gloves that they recommend wearing, the heavy orange ones, but they're so slippery that I dropped something in the kitchen one day using them. So I try to use the cloth ones, but I also try to keep the cloth ones clean too. This has been sitting for about 5 minutes. I checked it, it's over 160 degrees, so that looks really good. And I think it looks as good as it smells. I'll tell you, it smells great. So that's the show for the day. Thanks for watching. Enjoy it, make it yourself. This is for my son, he asked me to make it, and it's gonna be delicious. Goodbye for now.